there, I'm Christine Conrad, and I'm with Akilah Morrell. Thank you for coming on today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Christine.
Yeah, thank you. So it's Women's History Month, and I
Yeah.
really want to celebrate women in tech. So I have seen you in my newsfeed all the time, and I just like love what you post, and I would love for other people to learn more about you. So, what do you do?
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. I really appreciate it. I think I was telling you earlier that usually I'm on the flip side of being the one to interview people. So believe it or not, right now I'm kind of like, what do I do? Okay, how do I sit? What do I do? Now I know how my guests feel, right?
Yeah,
But that is part of
yeah,
what I do. That is part of what I do. But let me back up a little bit. So I work at 360 Insights, and actually Channel Maven, we're a part of 360 Insights. And so we offer consultative services to the channel, right? So to and through partner strategies, all things marketing. We create digital marketing strategies. We're always trying to find ways and help our partners, empower our partners to be better marketers. And so I love it. We get to connect. We get to work really closely with them to help develop some really effective and impactful campaigns. But the other side of my job, which I love, is education. And so I do get to travel and speak at different conferences. Again, I'm always trying to train marketers to be better marketers. That's always my message. What are the marketing best practices? What are those tactics? What are those things that I should be doing as a marketer to help get my message out there? So I love that side of my job because I
yeah.
love to meet people and just connect with other people. And I'm always learning, right? In order to actually be a speaker, you obviously have to do the research. And I think I love that part of it where I'm able to do the research and just elevate my game a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But I love it. I love it. Yeah.
I love that you help. Is it specifically people, partners in tech, or is it all different industries? Is it specific? Okay, that's
Into
awesome.
yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. I appreciate that because being a marketer myself and I've worked in the creative side of things, and it's like there's so many opportunities for tech companies to really elevate their
Yes.
go-to-marketing strategy. So I appreciate that you're kind of a unicorn in that because
Right.
I believe a lot of tech companies need that advantage. So
Absolutely.
um
Absolutely.
so I guess I like to ask this question because I believe failure is quitting. Like you have again, failure is a big word, right? It's a scary word. How has failure or parent failure set you up later for success? Do you have a favorite failure of yours? Yeah. So
I
my
love
question.
that. I love that question. Before I answer that question, though, because I completely forgot. How can I forget? This is International Women's Month, right? But I do want to
Yes.
plug, I need to put a plug in for the ACW. So
Yeah.
the Alliance of Channel Women is a large nonprofit organization. And what it is, it's this network of women who are in the channel, women in tech, who we support one another. So we really help each other with regards to career growth. We have an amazing education track where you can join as a member. Every month we talk about certain topics. Like last month, it was about AI. How do you leverage AI for sales and marketing? We have a ton of resources. We have a mentoring program. But anyway, I want to make that plug. And I was just recently voted in as the BP of the Alliance of Channel Women. So that's my other life in addition to working, but it's a very important part of who I am today because I started through the mentoring. I came in through mentoring, and it's really helped me with my career. And so I encourage you as well. I know we're recording now, but you should definitely check out Alliance of Channel Women. It's just a wealth of resources as a female in technology. Um, but back to your question, which I love, like, what is your favorite failure? I just love how you even crafted that because it's shown how long and how far we've come. There was a time where it was like failure. I'm not talking about my failure. I have never failed. I'm not going to
Mhm.
talk about my failures. And now it's just so widely accepted because we realize that failure is necessary. So it didn't feel like that at the time. But one that stands out to me the most would be I have to be careful how I say it, but at a place of employment where I felt like I was just being pushed out, right? I didn't belong. It definitely wasn't an inclusive environment. My boss didn't have my best interest at heart. And it was a tough, tough season for me to know that I just wasn't wanted And I had the expertise, you know, but I use that as an example of failure because I allowed it to get to me. I really did. I was like, you know what? Maybe she's right. You know, maybe I don't belong here. And where I failed is I feel like I allowed that to that, you know, it's a professional environment, but I allowed it into my personal life. And that impacted my relationships, that impacted my home life. And so I feel like I failed there, but I don't regret it because I was able to identify what it was that kind of really, you know, broke me up and just didn't, I wasn't my best self. And it helped me determine and helped me move on and say, you know what, I never want to be that again. And I never want to be that kind of boss either. I'm not even mad at her to this day. I'm actually grateful for the experience I had with her because it shows me that I don't want to be that to someone
Yeah.
else. So I
Yeah.
learned
Oh,
from that.
totally. It teaches you what you want, what you don't want, right? Like
Yeah.
it gives you wisdom to understand, okay, this is important to me in a work environment. I don't want this to happen. I mean, obviously there's a lot of different personalities in the office. And so
Right.
and you have to celebrate those differences, but at the same time, there's a level of almost unhealthy personalities or like unhealthy
Exactly.
behaviors, I should
Right.
say.
Right.
So no, I completely agree. So, if you had to put something on a billboard to billions of people,
Hmm.
like a big billboard, let's use like Las Vegas as a dome, for example. What would you put on there? Like, what kind of message would you put on there? Would you put it could be a paragraph, it could be a couple words, it could be something, yeah, it could be just do it. I don't know, just throwing that out there, but
Right. Right. What would I put on? Man, there's a couple things I'd put on there. Um, I would put on there everything that you've been through in life has led you up to this exact moment. That's what I would put up there because I think it's important that we do reflect. Now, you know, we hear often like push ahead, forge ahead, just go, go, go. But I think
yeah,
there's also a time where you do need to look back and reflect on how far you've come and that every obstacle, every battle you fought, there was a reason behind it. And it brought you to this moment right now. And so, in this moment, what is your purpose? What are you being called to do? Right. So we can stay focused on what is it? Am I walking in my calling? Am I walking in my purpose? Yes, these things happened before, but even if it was negative, it still led me to this exact moment. So, what I do with this moment really does matter. And so I think I'd put that on the billboard.
that 100%. I think the more that you can have a reflection of like, how did that go? Could I have done it better? I think that's amazing to have because you're using just like your emotional intelligence to like gain that knowledge and that wisdom so you
Right.
can do better and add more value to others going forward. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
What's one thing that maybe at work or maybe a project that you worked on that in your career that changed someone's life that you didn't expect?
Ah, that's a great question. So a project or something that I did in my career.
Hmm.
I would have to say, you know what? Okay, I think I'm thinking of an example right now. I would have to say standing up for myself as a Black woman in tech when it wasn't the popular thing to do to speak up about it and want to see others who looked like me that's represented. And that was the time that it wasn't, you know, we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion like it's this new initiative that just came about in 2020. This has been going around on for years and years, right? And I really think that I stepped it up as far as utilizing my voice and speaking up and being an advocate for myself. So much so that it did change the trajectory for some people who I'm connected with. For example, one of my mentees, you know, she literally attributed it to the fact that she's like, you know what, I saw you just, I don't know what you did, but you walked in your boldness, you shared your voice, you know, it's brought about change. And so for her personally, she's been able to do that at her company, right? It used to be that she was just really worried. And I'll give you a good example. She was going to be included in the HR. It was like an HR or corporate brochure. This is when we, back in the day when we did triples and things like that. And she's African American. And they asked her to, if she's going to be included in this brochure, she had to straighten her hair, meaning she couldn't show up with just her authentic hair. And she pushed back. And she told me, she's like, I pushed back because I saw how you started really raising your voice, and not raising your voice, but using your voice to evoke change. And she's like, I pushed back and made a
Yeah.
case for me to be included, still be included with my natural hair. And you know what? They did. And oftentimes we're finding that too. It's not necessarily intentional. Like we talk about racism, maybe it's not intentional. Maybe people just don't really understand. And so I think it's our job to help them understand. And we can only help them understand if we're authentic. So I feel like that was a big, I want to help others, right? I want them to help. I want to help others to show them that they can show up as themselves. We need you. We need me to be authentic, to come to the
Yeah.
table with just who we are, because who we are, that's our superpower, right? Our unique self.
Yeah.
So I would say that's something that was really impactful and that helped somebody else, just because I used my voice to.
Oh, totally. I mean, this is not like, I think for me, I'm again, knowing you and knowing just the, I guess, the marketplace, it's like it is so important to be yourself, and
Yeah,
that's how you stand out, right?
right,
I think a lot of the times people are a little bit too nervous to like, you know, be themselves because maybe fear or something else, but it's like, no, the more that you are yourself, the more alive you are, the more vibrant you are. It's just,
right.
it like you light up a room when you are your authentic self. And
Yeah,
again, I'm a sole believer of like adding value. I always say I would like to leave someone better than how I found them,
right,
because in life, if you put someone else first, like that's success for me, right? Success is taking responsibility, adding value, making sure that you're helping others, right? Regardless, you could helping them by like buying them a coffee or even like opening the door, right? Just
right,
anything that you can
right.
think of that like put someone else first. I think that really opens up just like a healthy environment, a healthy culture, and standing up for yourself too. Like I think that's awesome. Again, I almost like wanted to roll my eyes when they're like, you have to straighten your hair. It's like let people like if they think they look good and they want to keep their hair, like to me, again, I'm more about like what makes you feel your best, right?
Right.
And
Right.
again,
Absolutely. So what is your best self? Whatever that.
yeah, show
Yeah.
up as your best self. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I'm so excited for people to listen to your insights and what you have to offer. And happy Women's History Month.
Yes. See you as well. And congratulations on your new series here. I think you're going to do well. You're really going to do
Thank you.
well.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.